You can come on, pretend like you're important. This is the man. How you know, Brian?
I'm doing well, thank you. I just saw your message.
Yeah, good, good, good. I'm glad you come on early. Yeah, on your calendar, I can only book 12:15, so I figured you had between 12 and 12:15 to eat lunch.
My wife jokes that you'd think I was a brain surgeon by how busy training real estate agents keeps me. But yeah, happy to be here.
So, do you need to be able to present slides or anything?
Yeah, please. I would love that.
To be fair, hit the share button, see if it allows you to do it. I might be also you can already do that,
Okay. Let me go here. Slideshow.
and then I'll do a very brief introduction, just like you told me.
Very good. Yes, I have the ability.
Okay, cool. All right. So, firstly, I want to thank you, Brian, for coming on. For those of you who don't know Brian, Brian is our Chief Learning Officer. He's basically in charge of everything that eXp University's had, all the stuff that we built over the last couple of years. I've been watching you, for a while, even before you came on to eXp, Brian. I knew who you were, which is pretty fun. And what you've done with our education department is stunning. I mean, really amazing what you've done. So I appreciate it. It's helped a lot of agents, especially fast cap. If you guys have agents that are not in fast cap yet, get them in fast cap, please. It's one of the best programs in the company. So today, Brian's going to talk about all the stuff that we offer because I can't tell you all of it. I don't know it. The only thing I want you to understand before Brian gets on is we're a business platform that gives you a bunch of tools to build your business however you want to build your business. And nobody expects you to use every tool that we have in the toolbox, but pick and choose what's going to help you build your business. And I wanted Brian to come on today to kind of talk to you guys all about, just what our options are because I don't sell houses personally anymore, so I'm not even in tune with all that like a lot of you guys might be. So, Brian, all yours, buddy. Take it over.
All right. Hey, thanks for letting me come play, by the way. I'm gonna horse trade with you. By the way, I live in Austin, Texas, so I'm used to horse trading. If you guys will allow me to share with you all the tools and resources you didn't even know was available to you, I promise that I will share some brilliant ideas from the folks that we interview. Fair enough? Ideas that will help you build your business. A quick thing, just so I know here in the chat, real quick, throw a one in the chat if you are an attractor, if you're a rev share org holder. I just want to know who I'm talking to here because I know Mitch has an amazing rev share group, and I suspect some of you are part of that. So throw one in the chat if you're a holder, rev share org holder. All right, I am seeing, okay, so several of you. Okay, great. That's awesome. Okay, so, oh wow, I am full screen. Look at me. Let me go through this, and I'm going to share some things with you as an agent, but I'll also try to do a little meta commentary for some of you who are attractors. Okay, so you're seeing my screen, yeah? Thumbs up in the, yeah, there we go. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. This is going to be interactive or else it's going to be super boring. Those of you I haven't met yet, hi. Mom was an agent for 30 years, so I swore I would never get into real estate. Hi, Bryon Ellington, realtor. Nice to meet you. I've spent 24 years in this industry as an agent. I also spent 15 years at Keller Williams in their corporate office. I was their chief learning officer, chief products officer, chief operating officer for their international franchising. I joke that I was kidnapped, thrown in a trunk, and driven to New Jersey, where I served out a 6-year sentence with Realogy, now called Anywhere, oops, now called Compass. If you're not familiar, they own Colwell, Century, Better Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's, so on and so forth. I ran training and coaching for all of their brands and company-owned stores. A friend of mine became the CEO of Century, so he asked me to become the COO and Chief Development Officer. I did. After a few years, went out on my own, started a coaching company, transferred my license to eXp because why wouldn't I? And then my old friends Glenn and Leo, who I knew from those red Kool-Aid days, said, "Hey, what are you doing over there? Why don't you come over here and have some fun with us on the education side?" So I did. Joined in October 23 as Chief Learning Officer. So nice to meet you. and I hope that this is going to be both entertaining, informative, and instructional for you. So, I'm going to share some things with you. And by the way, you don't look good in orange jumpsuits, neither do I. Do the right thing, like Spike Lee said. And if you don't know what that is, ask your broker. They do. Okay. So I'm assuming you are here, but you're not happy about that. You want to get here. Yeah? Yes? Okay, great. So I can walk you through a mathematical formula, but I'm not going to. Our business is super simple. It's just 1.5 million of us complicate the crap out of it. But it is really simple. If you want to go from here to here, there's a mathematical equation that's going to tell you how many more deals you need to do, how many more contracts you need to get, how many more agreements you need to get, how many more appointments you need to set, how many more contacts you need to make. But the question is, how do I meet those people? Right? What's the actual strategy to go from here to here? Not the mathematical formula, that's easy. But what's the strategy? And in my experience, I saw Truett Cathy Sr., I think it was at Chick-fil-A Leader Cast. They used to do this thing every year where they'd have great leaders come and speak. And Truett Cathy Sr., if you're not familiar, started Chick-fil-A. And he said, I have two lists on my desk, a stop doing list and a to-do list. And nothing goes on the to-do list until something goes on the stop doing list. And for a lot of you, when you look at your business, and whether that's attraction or whether that's production, think about your business for the last 12 months. How did it do? Whatever that number is for you, units, GCI, volume, don't care. Attraction, how many people did I attract? What was my rev share? Don't care. Whatever that number is, everything about your business is designed to do exactly that and not a penny more. Which means if you want more from your business, which I suspect most of us do, then we have to redesign it. We have to add, edit, delete, right? Add, if you're a $5 million producer trying to go to $10 million, you're going to add things that a $5 million producer doesn't do that a $10 million producer does do. Edit, you're going to have to tweak some things. Maybe spend a little more time, spend a little more money, things of that nature. And then delete. There are things that a $5 million producer does that will absolutely hold them back from becoming a $10 million producer. Hanging a lockbox on a door is a waste of your time. Doing a lot of things are wastes of your time. And so you're going to have to figure out what those things are for you. And if you, as I say those three things, add, edit, delete, if you don't know exactly what to go do, if you don't have proven models and systems, then hi, Bryon Ellington, I'd like to apply for the job for you. I would love to help you. And as we talk about this training, this is not, me, Mitch, I appreciate the kind words, but I'm just the pretty face. First off, my team does all the hard work, but before they do the hard work, every single time we go to create training, we go out and interview a bare minimum of people at that thing. So for us, that number is at least 24 people. When we go create training, we go interview, study 24 top producing folks at that thing. Instagram, which we'll talk about in a little bit, 28 top Instagram agents who are generating the bulk of their business from that platform. FastCap, which Mitch mentioned, we went out and interviewed 70 rookie rock stars who were doing at least 2 deals in their first 6 months in the business and at least 12 deals in the first year in the business. So if you don't have proven strategies, you have proven strategies. Just got to plug in. So let me share with you this first off. And as I'm going, you're going to go, wow, didn't know about that. And that's because not enough of you are going into the big agent meeting on Fridays. Every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have Leo come on, Holly Mabry come on, our chief brokerage officer, Glenn comes on, Wendy comes on. We share with you the latest and greatest about what's going on in the industry, and we share with you the latest and greatest about what's going on at eXp. That is up on our YouTube channel. It broadcasts live Friday at 11 a.m., and then the recording is up there as well. I would highly, highly recommend watching that. Not only do we have great updates for you, but we also have amazing agents that come on and share their strategy. Leo interviews them or I interview them, and they just spill beans on what they're doing, how they do it, step by step. So it's a great use of 30 minutes of your time. Grab a couple of friends, have a watch party, but do make sure that you are plugging into that, because that will share with you a lot of the things we're going to talk about. Okay. First off, how many of you knew that we have a radio station? I'm looking, Kevin, I see 2 hands. All right, 3 hands. Wow. Okay, so we have a radio station, 60 plus shows of top real estate agents talking to real estate agents. And I don't care what your bent is in real estate, probate, commercial, luxury. We have either a dedicated show or a lot of different podcasts. We have about 3,000 plus podcasts on file now. They're all searchable on eXp University, by the way. But if you go to wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, don't care, we are there. It's KGCI. Fun fact for you. If you are a radio station east of the Mississippi, you start with a W. If you are a radio station west of the Mississippi, like Bellingham, Washington, you start with a K. So KGCI. A little tongue in cheek. Thought you guys might like that. But go on there. No more Barry Manilow in the car when you're driving to your next appointment. KGCI. And go look up whatever you want to look up. Or you can just listen to the live stream either way. And by the way, excuse me, I know a lot of you said that you're attractors. Many of you may be doing podcasts as part of your attraction. If so, come be a host for us. Doesn't cost you anything. We don't pay you anything, but we'll re-syndicate your podcast as well. And we have great viewership or listenership. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about training at every level. Forgive me for coughing in your ear. We've been steadily building over the past 2.5 years now. God, I'm old. At the eXp University, training at every level. So I don't care whether you're a brand new agent, you're an experienced agent, team leader, or an attractor, we have training for you. So Mitch mentioned FastCap. So obviously this cohort's already started. Next cohort is going to be July, I think it's July 8th, right after 4th of July. I can tell you all about the 6 weeks period, but this is the most important thing. What you're looking at are the tale of two participants. On the left is the average person who goes through FastCap, just completes the course. 3.8 appointments, 1.6 agreements in 6 weeks. Most of these are new agents. We actually do have icons who come in and knock the dust off their database and get after it because this is an activity program. On the right are the people who do the bare minimum work of the course. And by the way, it's not pickaxe and shovel kind of work. We meet friends, make friends, and help them with real estate. That's our work. And as long as you're doing the bare minimum, 6.9 appointments, 3.9 agreements is the average. The question I ask agents all the time, what did your last 6 weeks look like? Because if it didn't look like this, come join us. And if you're thinking, boy, I've been to FastCap before. Yeah, I've been to the gym before. Once in 1987, it was a cool, crisp fall day. I remember it well. Turns out that's not how gyms work, and that's not how FastCap works as well. It's not about the information. It's about the getting into it, the activities, the accountability, the energy of the group. So James Clear said, we imitate the close, the many, and the powerful. Who's your close? Who's your many? Because if you're not in an environment with like-minded people who are getting after it, come be part of this. Have fun with us. And again, we do this usually once every 3 weeks. June's a little exceptional because of the 4th of July, but we'll be doing the next one. I believe it's July 8th, whatever that Wednesday is after the 4th. Okay. So we made kind of a splash, and I want to talk about this as part of FastCap. Understand FastCap is designed to help people build their business, especially newer agents. You've all probably heard statistics about 75 to 80% of people fail out of this business within the first 2 years. Okay. So for us, the reason why we really focus on FastCap is because we want to bridge that gap of the valley of death of real estate that too many of our brethren and sistren die in. Now, in order to help them, we've also gone ahead and offered, if you complete FastCap, when you complete FastCap, we're going to give you Realty.com's Seller Pro package. Now, any Canadians on the call, throw 2 in the chat if you're from Canada. Okay, then we won't talk about that. So in the okay, Frank, Marcy, Canadian keyboards are just slower. So Teasing, teasing, don't get mad. So if you are in the States, we give you realty.com. If you are in Canada, we give you Zoocasa and Honest Door. Now, with realty.com Seller Pro package, it's on us. No cost whatsoever. With Zoocasa, well, on a store, no cost on us. We got you. Zoocasa does have a referral fee on the backside of theirs. I'm going to talk about leads. So realty.com comes with a buyer cultivation tool and a seller cultivation tool. Think HomeBot, Fellow, very, very similar. You can put your database on a drip, sends them not one, but 3 AVMs each month so that you can call them up and say, I know you're probably wondering which one of those is right. Well, none of them is right because none of them have seen what you and Marcy did with the backsplash and blah, blah, blah. If you have a move coming up, I'd love to come over, take a look, give you a more accurate estimate, right? In addition to those cultivation tools, we give you leads. Now, again, realty.com, completely gratis, no upfront fee, no referral fee. Zoocasa does have a referral fee because they are ISA scrubbed, meaning you ain't having to work for it. They're ready. And they're handing those over to you. 25% of it's a Zoocasa lead, 45% of it's one of their affiliate leads. Fun fact, Zoocasa is the only Zillow Flex team in Canada. They handle all of Zillow in Canada. They also have other sources as well. Now, after FastCap, when you complete the program, we will give you these tools for free for 12 months. For free for 12 months on us. Complete FastCap, do the work, and you get it for a total of 12 months. So let me share with you why that matters. What you're looking at is the pilot. This is back in January. We did this. We gave 384 agents 1,930 leads. And you're going, so what? Buyer leads, blah, blah, blah. 90% of those were seller leads. Sellers who raised their hand and said, I'd like a cash offer on my home. We give you up to 4 cash offers through express offers so that you can go and give that seller a phone call and say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I know that you asked for a cash offer. I actually have not one, but 4 of them. I'd like to sit down with you, explain the difference, verify the information for these cash offers so we can solidify that, and also talk to you about what your home might be worth on the open market should you choose to list with me. Would Wednesday at 2 or Thursday at 4 work better for you? Now, if you're curious, yeah, but that was a 6-week pilot, blah, blah, blah. I bet realty.com put their Sunday best on, blah, blah, blah. This number is now 12,000 leads. And it's, I think, 1,700 agents, something like that. So do the math, by the way. This is about 5 leads in a 6 weeks period. We give you this for a total of 52 weeks. Do the math. About 40 plus leads on average. 90% of them seller leads. Listing agents on the call, I won't ask you to self-indict unless you want to. How long did it take you to take your first listing? How long did it take you to become a listing agent? Most of us, it was like when buyers started converting and needing to sell their house, right? My friend Michelle said, my friend Michelle said it was 18 months for her. Yeah. We have brand new agents who've taken listings. We have brand new agents who've taken $1 million listings. We have brand new agents who've taken multiple listings in FastCap because of this program. Brand new agents. Think about that. A friend of mine, Jeremy Kane, he said, I was telling a group about this and he raised his hand. He said, yeah, Gabrielle Lawson was in your pilot. She called me up one day freaking out because she had a $1 million listing appointment. So I went with her on the appointment to take the listing, right? Which is awesome. Awesome. That is the best possible problem to have. So that is available. And we are doing that. So do please share with your folks. And by the way, it doesn't hurt to eat your own dog food, friends. If you're going to send somebody in there, go in there with them. I guarantee you will get more productive than you've been recently if you do the work. So those of you who said that you're attractors, how many of you have been through Fast Attract? How many of you have been through Fast Attract? Okay, cool. If you haven't been lately, this cohort, we changed things up. So a few things about Fast Attract. It's a 6 weeks program. If you're thinking, yeah, I would build my rev share, but I don't want to be a recruiter. Ew, gross. I don't want you to be a recruiter either. That's disgusting. I want you to be an attractor. And what that means is helping people, providing value to their lives, not sweaty palm, heavy breath. Hey, you're going to join us? No? Okay. Hey, you going to join us? No? Okay. That's lame. That's lame. In Fast Attract, what we do is we give you value to share. Literally, we do 20 minutes of calls per session to the people that we're trying to attract. We give you tools, resources, and scripts now to make those calls. Literally give you playbooks and things like that, which will make more sense in a second, and give you the scripts to use via text, via email, via phone calls, via Instagram, so that you can start building those relationships. Because the truth of the matter is, you're a really good salesperson. You're not so good that you're going to make somebody change brokerages before they're ready. But the better news is that brokers wet the bed all the time. They do stupid things like merge with Compass and other things that really open the door for you. And as long as you're there providing value for them along the way, you will be that person that they call when they're ready to make a change. And you might be the impetus that makes them think, you know what, it is time for me to make that change. So come be part of that. Next one starts in July. I think it's July 13th, whatever that Monday is of that week. I think it's July 13th. Team leaders and top solo agents on the call. Where you at? Where you at? Raise your hand, team leaders, top solo agents. I know you're perfect. You know everything about real estate, and your market's not changing at all. Technology, trends, real estate in particular is not changing at all. So you're all set, right? Right. And you're achieving exactly what you want to be achieving, not a penny more, right? Okay. So each month we do two sets of calls for both groups. For my elite solo agents, the first and third Tuesday of the month, one of the calls, Leo comes on with the top coach, Jared James, Tom Berry, John Cheplack, blah, blah, blah. And they coach you up for an hour on various topics. The other call, the third Tuesday of the month, we bring in a top solo agent. So we had Suman Kim come on and share about how he does YouTube. We had Kim Fraser come on and share about how she does open houses and geographic farms, so on and so forth. These are multi-million dollar, $100 million producers coming on and just sharing their exact strategies. Team leaders, same thing. First Thursday of the month, third Thursday of the month, Leo and a coach comes on one call, and then we have a top team leader come on another. We had Jeff Cavender come on and share about his Indeed recruiting system. We had Allison Greco come on and share about how when she has new people join her team, her expectation is 3 deals in the first 90 days, no team generated leads, and she gets it. She talked about how she does that. Again, just great, brilliant people sharing brilliant things. Joe, did you have a question?
Yes, I was curious. Is that open to everybody, regardless at what level your team is at? And
Yeah, it is. We'd ask non-team leaders if you're going to join the call because you're curious about a team. Let's let the team leaders control the conversation. But yeah, absolutely, you're all welcome. And if you go on to expuniversity.com, sign up for both of the calls. Each of those two calls for both categories have different signups, and then you'll be able to access the archives as well. And those are some brilliant archives. Okay. How many of you were part of the Agent Accelerator, the AI Accelerator series we did last October through December? How many of you were there? Cool. All right. So last year, at the end of the year, we had these lovely people come on and they taught 9 sessions over 8 weeks. And it was AI for your personal assistant, AI for marketing, AI for social media, AI for teams, so on and so forth. All of those recordings are up on expuniversity.com. However, July 14th, we're redoing it. We're going to do a 6 weeks program, and we're going to do a refresh because the technology has changed. New technology has come on the scene. Claude Code, Claude Cowork, all of those tools and resources. We're going to have some really great sessions. We have some new faces as well. We'll be announcing that shortly, but that's going to start July 14th. So do mark your calendar for that, and then be on the lookout for the promotions around the sessions. You can come to any session that you like or all sessions that you like. If you are not using AI in your business, man, you are missing huge opportunities for leverage. And just the speed with which this stuff is developing is crazy town. In fact, I'll share with you vibe coding that this guy who is an English major and has no business touching technology built. And if you're not convinced by the time I'm done showing you that you can do this stuff, I don't know what will convince you. All right. So NAR, this now begins the educational portion of our show. NAR tells us that for every 100 people you have in your database, likely this year about 8 are going to transact. About 8. Question, live bullets, somebody jump on it. How many of those 8 are you going to get? Linda, I love it. I love the bravado. That's really great. 9 of That's awesome. Here's the reality. Everybody has a cousin Daryl and another cousin Daryl who are both realtors, right? And so it ain't going to be 8 friends, unfortunately, and I'm sorry about that. Now, if you've had them in your database and you've been loving on them well, chances are you're going to get a good portion of them. My bet, that good portion is probably going to be 2. Now, question, is your goal to do only 2 sales in real estate this year? Because if not, then we need to do some multiplication. If your goal is 20, then you don't need 100 people in a database that you're dripping on and loving on. You're going to need 1,000. And you can do the math from there. Again, I said I'm an English major, not a math major. But the question is, if you wait until December 31st to add that last person to your database, how's that going to go for you in terms of hitting your goals from your database? Every one of us are on treadmills of some sort or another. In production, that treadmill is whatever form of lead generation you do. Now, which treadmill do you want to be on is the question. For me, I think cool people know cool people, jerks know jerks, which means that I would rather work out of my database because then I can control the cool people that I work with and the cool people that they refer me to. But in order to get there, most of us have to be on another treadmill, which is meeting brand new people that we don't know, sifting through the jerks and kissing the frogs to find our princes and princesses in order to transact. But then the question becomes, what then do you do with the people that you're meeting? How do you purposefully work that? And so I want to share with you a couple of things, because for a lot of people, they think, oh, it's going to take a long time to build my database. Well, this is what we did back in January with 15 teams. We took 15 of our eXp Zillow Flex teams, who, by the way, wanted to get off of Zillow Flex, and we did a contest with them. We had them form teams of 7. The goal was 7,000 unique conversations per team over a 4-week period. Here's what happened. Take a look at the numbers. This is 4 weeks. Look at the number 1 team. Look at the number 1 person on each team, by the way. I wish I could remember some of the other stats, but Summer Hoffman here at the top of the 3rd team stands out. She did 38 buyer appointments. I think it was 13 listing appointments. 4 weeks. Question for you. What lies are you telling yourself about building your database, about working your database? What lies are you telling yourself? Because if this doesn't convince you that whatever you've been telling yourself is an absolute lie, I don't know what will. The second you're ready to get after it, success is just waiting for you. The question is, how do you get after it? What strategies and techniques do I go use to get in front of my database? So glad you asked. So we've been steadily working for the past year on an Icon lead mastery. We built FastCap and other programs for our newer agents, developing agents. This is aimed squarely at our successful agents, our experienced agents, and also to our team leaders, because you have team members as well. And again, go back to what I said earlier. In order to build these courses, we spoke with a minimum of 24, can I say badass? 24 badass agents at that thing. So when we talk about expanding your database and sphere of influence, we talked to, I think it was 30 icon level agents who primarily did their business out of their database. And we got them to share everything with us. In fact, we had so much stuff, we compiled it into a 12-month engagement platform. Every month, every week, we give you their DM scripts, their text scripts, their email scripts, their phone call scripts, client gifts, their client events. And not only do we teach you what they were doing, we teach you step by step how they were doing it. We give you the plays. I'll give you an example. My friend Jeremy Kane. Jeremy every year does what he calls the annual financial review. He calls up his past clients and he says, hey, you'll sit down for an hour with your financial planner for a $25,000 stock portfolio. Who are you sitting down with about the largest asset you own and maximizing that? And by the way, he sends them a box of crumble cookies. Who can resist? He then prepares more than just a CMA. He prepares an entire presentation for them, but it ain't complicated. In fact, we teach you step by step exactly what he does, exactly what he says before, during, and after that meeting. And then he asks for their referrals. After doing all that, do you think he struggles to get referrals? And again, we teach you step by step, not just his strategy, but all the strategies of the various people that we talk to. So we did the same thing for open houses. So that was Sphere of Influence database. Then we did open houses. So I mentioned that we're giving you the step-by-step playbooks. Here's an example, and I'm going to give you some in just a second so that you have them. But here's an example of what these playbooks look like. Those of you who are attractors, I want you to pay attention to this because these are called lead magnets. I want you to give these away to other agents because I want them to see what you can offer them in terms of training. Okay, so we do about 10 to 15 of these per course. And again, they are just some of the best unique ideas from the people that we're interviewing as part of the build of this. So with open houses, we give you the entire before, during, and after system. Here's the thing. Most of the top folks that we talked to who are doing open houses, they kind of viewed open houses and the traffic that walked through the door as the icing on the cake, not the cake when it came to lead generation. They're leveraging the open house to lead gen around it. Door knocking, social media. And by the way, you guys ready? Do you want me to teach you how to do the perfect open house and generate the most number of leads possible? You ready? Got a pen handy? This is really super simple. First, we're going to door knock 200 homes around the target property. How many of you did I just lose? Just with that statement? Like 90%, yeah. So let me give you a story. My friend Smita Singh, who was one of the agents that we interviewed in here, she goes out and she puts about 40 to 80 branded open house signs out in the neighborhood. By the way, if you're using those red directional Amazon signs because they're cheap, stop it. You are missing a huge opportunity to dominate your neighborhood and make people say anytime you meet them from that neighborhood, oh my God, you're real. I see you everywhere. Now, I love Smita. Smita and I are good friends, and yet I tease her all the time because she won't knock a door to save her life. Because she, like I'm betting some of you, think that in order to knock the door, I have to be sleazy. I have to trick them into giving me their contact information. No. So I'll give you a few different strategies. Kim Fraser, again, Kim's well on her way to do about 100 to 120 million this year, primarily from geographic farming, primarily from open houses. She puts out a little door flyer that talks about the open house and then some other stuff about her. If you want to see her template, come to the class, June 23rd. We'll give it to you. Now, Renee Funk, she does an hour before the open house preview for the neighbors. Wine, cheese, that sort of thing. She goes to doors. She actually knocks them. She doesn't ask them for anything. Her script is the sellers have asked me to invite the close neighbors for free wine and cheese. Come over. You can say goodbye to them. Also take a look at the house. I'll answer any questions that you want. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Tuesday at 2 or whenever it is. And you might be surprised about how many people go, whoa, 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 whoa. How's the market? And she didn't ask them for anything. Now, Cody Weitzel is going to ask you for something. He's actually going to try to get into your home and do a listing presentation. And by the way, he does. That man does over 200 million in volume from open houses. His entire strategy is based around door knocking for listings around open houses. And he has an amazing script, and we give you all of that and more as part of this. So we give you the before, during, and after systems of these folks. Now, I'm going to give you an idea that you just saw called nine pawns. So this is from Bryon Kelsey. Bryon actually does the 4 pawns. When you walk into his open, he's going to say, welcome, come on in. But instead of saying, hey, the sellers have asked that everybody who comes to the open house signs in, so we have, instead of that boring crap, which is going to get you Mickey at mickeymouse.com and 555-555-555 as the phone number. What Bryon does is says, hey, thanks so much for coming in. If you'll just sign in here, I'll give you access to my 4 pawns. What's that? So glad you asked. Most agents and their buyers fish out of 1 pawn, and we call that the MLS. And absolutely, I can give you access to that. But you want to see all the properties on the market that fit your criteria, not just the ones listed on the MLS, correct? Well, that's why I fish out of 4 pawns. Now, as we started talking to more and more agents, Smita Singh, for example, before an open house, she calls up the local builders in her area, Sugar Land, Houston, and she asks them, what inventory do you have coming on the market that's not yet there yet? Because I'm going to have some buyers on Saturday, would love to show them the home early, maybe see if we can get it bought for you before you ever have to market it. By the way, Smita's builder business is crazy. They come to her for marketing. They come to her with homes and exclusives because she's done this religiously for years. And she also has homes that she can offer that are not part of the MLS. If you're going, well, I don't do open houses, so what? You do work with buyers, and this is called differentiation. Why would they sign your buyer broker agreement versus mine? We're going to charge them the same amount of money. They'd sign mine first because I'm going to give them access to this. I'm going to differentiate myself. Now, the goal isn't to go out and do all 9 of them. By the way, there's actually 9. If you want to know what the 9th one is, come join us at the class. The goal isn't to do all 9. The goal is to do a few of these so that you have differentiation. Now, let me share something with you. Really quickly, if you have your phone handy, we're doing this class June 23rd. We're doing this class June 23rd. And if you're going, well, I don't have any listings, or I don't have enough listings to do open houses regularly, boo, I got you. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to show you something that will help you as it's helped a number of our agents in the pilot we just did. So there's the QR code, June 23rd, that class. Again, I think like 12 or 15 amazing playbooks. There's like a 60-page manual that just lays out their strategy step by step. And then this thing up at the top here, you see this open house hub. Let me go here and let me go to this. Are you guys seeing my screen? Cool. So you're getting a sneak preview. Only a handful of people have seen this. We are launching this later this month at the open house class. This is what we call the open house hub. So fun fact, of the 28 or so people that we interviewed for open houses, when they all started off, they treated it as a lead pillar, not just a chore that they had to do when they took a listing. Now, problem, they don't have enough listings to hold an open house every single day. You saw the playbook of Payson Robertson. If you're not familiar with him, Payson joined real estate when he was 19 years old. Looked like his sphere of influence was doing keg stands, not buying houses. So he decided, I'm going to do 100 open houses in 100 days. And he did. By day 45, by the way, he had 15 deals in process. 6 months after he started, he had 37 deals. Today, he has a team. They do over 250 deals per year off of open houses. And again, they weren't holding their own open houses. They still aren't holding their own, just only their listings as their opens. So we built a tool that enables eXp agents to go out and find listings. Now, stay with me, because even if you're not an open house agent, if you're an attractor, you're going to want to know about this, because it gives you some cool features that you probably aren't expecting. So really quickly, I can go in here and I can say, hey, I want to see homes in this zip code. Okay. All right, great. Now I've got this lovely home on Madrone Ranch, beautiful neighborhood, know it well. Now Stacy Nelson's the listing agent. In my profile, I've already set up, here's what I do whenever I hold an open to generate business to the open. And so in my note to Stacy, it's going to say, here are the things I'm going to do to promote your seller's listing during my open house. May I please hold it open? We've been doing a pilot for the past 30 days. It just ended this past Tuesday. Very few agents said no. And usually it was because either the seller was still living there and it was just inconvenient for the seller, or some other side reason. Most of the agents were able to secure multiple listings. In fact, 34 people going through the pilot did over 180 open houses during the pilot, and none of them were their listings. Now, once you've done that, this is when the fun begins, because now I can add it to my dashboard. Stacy says, yeah, sure, Bryon, you can do that. Great, cool. Now I can go in here and I can do a few things. First, I can schedule my open house. Okay, cool, standard fare. Then I can create my lead magnet. So I can either create a lead magnet automatically branded to me with the listing details. I can create a lead magnet branded to me of similar properties through this platform. Creates one page per property of similar properties, or I can upload my own, my 9 ponds, whatever else I want to upload to it. Once I do that, now I can go into kiosk mode, and you see me entering my super secret password, because I can put my iPad at the front, and now they can't use my iPad to do anything but this until I enter in my password. Super simple. You'll notice the form here. They can either QR code it with their phone or sign in on your tablet or computer. And so just so you see what this looks like, just going to do this really quickly. Okay. Here's a fun one. Are you working with an agent? If they say yes, okay, cool. What's their name? What's their phone number? I want to send them the property details. I call that the BS meter. And it's fun to see how many people actually change their opinion. Well, no, well, they're not actually working with them, but once they click this button, cool fun fact, they've just acknowledged agency disclosure and also agreed to circumvent TCPA D and C for themselves, meaning you now are free to call and move about the country. Once they do that, boom, lead is created, but then there's a secondary set of questions that we're going to ask. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, thanks so much. By the way, there's a second page there. I know that you're probably on every single Zillow search and blah, 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 but if you'd like to see off-market properties and also have access to the latest ones as they hit the market, if you'll just share a little bit about your home search, I'll make sure that I get you set up on that so that you have all of that at your disposal. All of that goes into the system. Cool. Leads captured. I can export it. We are working with CRMs of choice, Bold Trail, Lofty, Close, to make this automated to where it will go into your CRM. That's coming. But today you can export it and it will import into those CRMs, but we will automate this for you guys. Okay, so once you've got all that, a few things, you can go in here, quickly create seller reports for the listing agent that's branded, that it's not branded at all, so they can literally hand that report right over to their seller. So that the next time that they have a listing and you call them to ask them to hold it open, they'll be a lot more willing to allow you to do that because they get to go beat their own chest to their seller about the things they caused to have happen about the open house. Or you can generate your own seller report for your own seller as well. Here's something that's really cool. So I mentioned that open house class. We just did it April 28th, and the week following, we kicked off a 30-day challenge. We had, I think it was 60 people go through the challenge and do open houses. By the way, if you're curious, here's what happened during that open house challenge. We offered prizes for the winners and so on and so forth. 180 open houses, averaging, I think it was 4.29 leads per open. For the leaderboard here, and these folks have more business now than they've had recently as a result of this. Now, I'm not going to do the challenge every time we offer the open house class, but you'll see this little button up here because we're giving you team leaders who preach open houses as part of your team strategy, or rev share holders who coach your agents. You can go and create your own challenges. You don't even have to teach open houses. Send them to us. We'll teach it, and then you can kick off your challenge with your rev share group or your team or your buddies. Don't care. But you now have the ability to do your own challenges through this. You guys can create prizes and winners and all of that. It will track it. We will give you the rules during the class that we use to build this so that you know how the scoring works, and then go start your own challenges as you want to. Questions, comments, concerns, excitements, disbeliefs? Cool? Yes? No? Okay. I'm gauging reactions. I see a lot of stone faces here. You guys are good negotiators. All right. Back to the program. So here, again, here's the QR code. Get registered for that. Can I switch gears and share with you about social media? Yeah. This is the interactive portion. Yes. Good. Okay. We built the same thing for Instagram. So for Instagram, we call it likes to leads. We went out, we interviewed, I think it was like 25, 26 top Instagram agents who generate the bulk of their business through that platform. We give you everything as part of that class. A literally 365-day calendar with post ideas from our top agents every single day. We give you, I think there's 11 or 12 playbooks of how people like Chris Colgan stop the scroll, or how Aaron Novello makes his social proof post by making himself the guide, not the hero. We give all of that to you. We even give you an AI tool that you can say, hey, build me a post calendar, and it will not only build you a post calendar with all the ideas from our top folks, it'll give you the captions, the visuals, your script for the reel, all of that and more. So I want to share with you one of the things that those top folks taught us, and it's the 11 types of social media posts. And this is the Instagram version. You'll see, though, that we've been interviewing folks for YouTube. That's next. That's coming end of July, beginning of August. Facebook, which will come later on in the year, and even TikTok. Don't worry, we're not going to teach you how to dance. Not necessary. But we're doing each of these, and then we'll go on to FSBOs, expireds, geographic farming, and all the other forms of lead gen. So here are the 11 types of social media posts. And I'm going to quickly hit on some of these. I'll start with area overviews. And by the way, I know you would do more social posting, but you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you sound, and you don't know what to say when the camera comes on, right? Yeah, got you. Don't worry. There's some ideas in here for you. Area overviews. This is easy. Right? The 5 neighborhoods to live in Southwest Austin, the 5 neighborhoods to avoid in Southwest Austin, and why, so on and so forth, right? I want to caution you because there's two sides of a debate here. You will hear agents advocating for you to go post about the 5 best date night spots in Southwest Austin. Now, there's 2 camps on this. One camp vehemently disagrees with that. They say, no, don't do that. Why? Because when people who are looking for date night spots like your post and go to your page and go view your other posts, and it's all about real estate, not other date night spots, they're going to go, oh, this sucks, and leave, and the algorithm's going to ding you for it. Now, the other side of the debate says, I don't care, because by putting out the date night spots, I'm going to get a far broader audience than just people who are interested in real estate. And it's my job to cultivate that audience so that I can maximize my reach, maximize my database, and over time, cultivate and maximize my lead flow. So take that into consideration. What they say, what that side, the other side will say, the one who says don't do the date nights. If you're going to do date night spots, that's great. Do it in the broader context of a post on real estate in the area, so people understand you are a realtor. They go to your page, they view your other posts. They're expecting you to be a realtor, not Chuck Woolery giving them dating advice. Okay. Social proof. Talked about Aaron Novello. Really, his whole point was you want to be the hero of your own story, right? We all do. So do your clients. So if your post says, I'm the hero, it doesn't allow them to see themselves as the hero in their story. What he says is when you're going to go tell social proof about how you help clients, make yourself the guide. Make them the hero of the story. You just help them solve their own challenges. Easy enough. Market reports, straightforward for sellers in your area. But here's an important thing. Depending upon the platform you use and depending upon the types of posts you create, that will dictate the types of clients that you get. If you are doing area overviews on YouTube, what kind of client are you likely to attract? Area overviews on YouTube. Live question, somebody jump on it. Area overviews on YouTube. What kind of client will you attract?
Seller.
Area overviews on YouTube. Remember, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. How do people use search engines? Research. Izzy, ding, 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 ding. Yes, relocation. You are going to get relocation clients. And if that's your business, cool. Just be ready for it. And by the way, that will dictate your lead magnets that you offer as well, right? You're not going to offer a free seller guide as part of a lead magnet for that type of post. You're going to offer a relocation guide, buyer's guide to Southwest Austin, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you're doing market reports, yes, you are going to generate sellers, local sellers. So be ready for that as well. Gear your lead magnets to that as well. Home tours and my listing tours, the only difference is the amount of razzle-dazzle you put into them. For your own listings, you're going to do drone, twilight photography, that kind of stuff. For home tours, you're just going to call up a builder, say, hey, can I do a home tour? Buyer tips, seller tips, your next post is sitting in your sent folder or in your text messages. You're answering these questions every day. Assume that if that person had that question, other people have that question too, and just hit record and talk your answer into it. Relevant news, this is good. No award. When we post, the goal is not just to scream into a megaphone in the park. The goal is to create engagement. How do you do that? Well, No Award does it by doing green screens. He talks about local legislations or local happenings that are going on, new shopping centers, blah, blah, blah. He just has a green screen. He sits there and talks about whatever's happening, and then he asks the question, what do you think about that? Now, I want you to avoid politics. I think we all know why right now. I want you to avoid all those kind of controversies. That's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is engagement, because then the algorithm is going to say, oh, people like this post. People like this post enough to stop being lazy and actually do something about it. We should serve this post up to other people as well. So whatever type of post you make sure you're building engagement into it. Comment below for my free area guide. Use a mini chat or some other feature like that. Or just ask their opinions. Ask them to share. Trust me, people love sharing their opinions. Attraction, easy enough. I'm not going to go into that. Success diary. This is for you, lady in the back, who doesn't like the way you look, who doesn't like the way you sound, and doesn't know what to say when the camera comes on. Really quickly, grab your camera, grab this QR code. I'm giving you 4 of these for free. This is one playbook each from 4 different classes: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I want you to take a look at Belle Tunstall's playbook. Belle's the lady in the orange sweater. So this is what she does. In addition to her normal posting, what Belle does is use stories. Think of Instagram like Netflix. Netflix is not going to promote a show that only has the pilot, and they have no idea when the next episode or the next episode is coming. They want regularity. For them to promote you, they would like to see you posting on a regular basis. A lot of top agents are posting daily. Now you go, oh my God, I don't even know what to say weekly. What would I say daily? Don't worry, I got you. Here's what Belle does. Think of all the steps of the transaction. Going on the consultation, sign the client, going on the home tour, found a home, making an offer accepted, going to inspection. By the way, going to inspection, don't post about after the inspection. We all know why. Closing day, moving day, all those steps. Belle just grabs her camera, and instead of putting it on her, she puts it on the thing. So I'll give you an example. She did 2 posts. One was her going on a buyer consultation. She literally just took a picture of the street she was driving down, and there was a telephone wire. She bent the text to the telephone wire, and it said something along the lines of, I'm going to meet this lovely couple to help them find their next dream home. She did a walkthrough, same walkthrough we always do, hopefully. And instead of just walking through the home, she literally turned the camera on, filmed the home as she walked through 30 seconds, and just put a caption over it. Final walkthrough on this gym at 123 King Street. And again, for every transaction, she's doing that like 10 times. Her database thinks she is just crushing it in real estate. By the way, she is now because of this. But it just created the opportunities for her to just feed that algorithm on a regular basis, so much so that it pushed her well beyond her. I think she had only like 5,000 followers, but her posts were getting like hundreds of thousands of views because the algorithm liked her, patted her on the head, and fed her post out to other people. Use these strategies. These are amazing agents who figured it out. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to make it your own. By the way, you'll notice if you scroll to the last page of that playbook, you're going to notice an AI prompt because we've taken all of our research, put it into AI tools so that you can make these strategies your own. The tools will ask you a few questions and then help you dial in these strategies for you. Okay. That was a lot of me talking. Dear God, if you were my family, you would have walked out a long time ago. So I'm so sorry for that. What questions, comments, concerns, excitements, disbeliefs can I answer for you?
So, Brian, I have a question for you. By the way, I learned more today than I've learned probably 2 years with eXp. So I appreciate this. I'm getting lots of text in the background and saying, this is great. So is there one place to go to find all this? Is this all on eXp University?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that. Yes. If you've not been to eXp University lately, you've not been to eXp University. So we completely changed the site. We keep adding to it. There are amazing tools and resources, all of that and more. There's a one-stop search bar that you can search our YouTube channel, our KGCI, and our platform, all from eXp University. And by the way, I should have said this too. I'm not selling you anything. All of this is yours. Right? You just have to show up, just have to plug in. So go to expuniversity.com, look for all of these and more. A lot of what I talked about is under the live training, but there's a ton of on-demand stuff as well. So do please use that resource.
And just real quick, a couple questions in there. So this is always archived on my YouTube channel, all of our recordings, all of our top producer panels. And also, we will be sending this out to all of our 2,200 agents in our organization, so they have that too. It's up to you guys. And my question for you, Brian, unless somebody else has a question there, how are you seeing other people with their organizations implement getting them to there? So the hardest part as an organizational leader is, we have 2,200 people, we have 50 people in here. How are other people getting their organizations to open their eyes? Because all I get is a lot of people, not all, I get a lot of great agents, but struggling, and I'm like, there's no reason to be struggling.
Yeah. And it's funny. I mentioned the Zillow Flex teams. I did a research project for them for training, and we interviewed 40 plus eXp Zillow Flex teams, which usually are our biggest teams, right? These are like really big organizations. And it was heartening to me to know that like Dylan and Naka and other of those team leaders leverage us, right? For example, they use FastCap as onboarding, right? They have their own onboarding training, but they send it to FastCap. And by the way, team leaders, what you want to know is whether or not that individual is going to do the work of being successful, not just work or cherry pick your leads. We'll send it to FastCap. You have full visibility into their CSU. We'll share all that with you, so you'll know whether or not, really quickly, 6 weeks or less, whether or not they're actually going to do the work that you want them to do on your team. But also, too, reinvent the wheel. I know you were an awesome open house agent. You ain't as awesome as 28 plus of the top icon open house agents combined, giving you all of their various strategies, right? So teach them what you do, but then let them come to these classes and learn these strategies. And there are areas where you're not up on it. I bet a lot of you are not great with Instagram. I mean, it doesn't take reinventing the wheel. We're just doing what you all would do anyways. If you wanted to learn something, if you could, you would want to go talk to the most successful agents and ask them, how do you do that? Walk me through that step by step. We've done all of that. So just find a way to plug in, be part of this. Let us push you, let us stretch you, come be part of our challenges and things like that when we do those. But just plug in. And I know this was a ton of information. I'm not eXp University's chief learning officer. I'm your chief learning officer. Reach out to me on the hub. Let me know how I can help you. Let me know if I'm not the right one. I will get you to the right one. So just let me know where you're struggling or what you're looking for, and we'll be happy to help.
Awesome. Any more
Brian,
questions?
is this presentation available to us?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll send Mitch. I'll send you the slide deck, and then
Yeah,
you
we'll send it
can
out to everybody.
maybe distribute it out. Cool.
Yeah, when we send out the video recording, we'll send it out to everybody. So
Yeah, and those of you who have
Thank you.
rev share orgs and of your own that you want to do this on, just let me know. I'll connect you with my team, and either myself, Russ, or Candace will get on a call anytime. And I just mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing YouTube, Facebook. We're working on a listing pricing class right now. There's a ton of other training coming out this year. So anytime you want one of the three of us to come on and share an updated version of all of this, man, just let us know. We're more than happy to do that.
a great comment in there. You have a great voice, soft but confident and awesome. So basically, he's telling you have a great voice for radio. great,
A great face for radio too, I'm
great
sure.
face for radio. Yeah. So, all right, Brian. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate you. It's always good to hear you and see you. Of course, you've been an integral part to eXp's growth, and I really appreciate everything you do.
I'm just the pretty face, but I will tell my team you said that, and I'll also tell my wife you said that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell her she deserves you.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell her that, Mitch. I like being very
I know, right? All right, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Brian, appreciate you. I'll talk to you guys all soon.
Thanks, y'all. Happy Thursday. Thanks for letting me come play.
Thanks,
All right.
Brian. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Mitch.